And Danny, so I guess which brings us now to the main topic of the day, which I'm sure you're super excited about. So
So
I'll
excited.
just hand over the reins over to you, my friend, to moderate this lovely main topic of the night. What if?
Yes. Again, Clark, thank you so much for giving me the privilege to do this here. I know how badly you wanted to do this yourself, and I think it's very mature of you to just give me the opportunity to do this here. So thank you once again. Um, yeah, so before we get into it, of course, you know what I'm going to say. What time is it? It's cheap plug time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have liked what you have heard and watched today, especially Clark going into his rants about everything that we like that he doesn't, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the House of Fandom. If you're enjoying what you're seeing and you want to see more of Clark and me bantering, please hit that subscribe button. Okay, so
Please.
yeah, thank you. Please, please, guys, we really need subscribers. TikTok is taking over. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I know, right? All right.
All right, so we'll get into it. Listen, TikTok is whipping your ass, so you got to start subscribing. Let's go. Let's get serious. All right, moving right along here, guys. Yes, episodes 3 and 4 of Marvel's What If series here. So let's get right into it, gentlemen. Here, I want to blend them both together. I want to talk to them together. We're reviewing them. I want to take time for one and the other. Let's just get it on, right? So I want to go up to open to the panel here real quick. Anybody can jump in. We're going to keep this open, free, and exciting here. Let's start getting some feedback here, guys, because the first two episodes were much different, in my opinion, from what we got on these last two. So looking at them together here, I feel like it got pretty dark, at least
Mm-hmm.
for me, for my thinking here. I don't know about you
Yes.
guys agree with me. It got pretty dark
Same.
over here. So I
Same.
mean, let's open it up here. Who wants to go first?
I'll roll with it, man.
Let's go, buddy. Let's go.
I got broadsided, man. I'll just say that point blank. I didn't expect the darkness from Marvel at all. Not on this level. Not they're cheesy with the dog may die or something. But
I felt like
start
DC
episode
was on here, right? Someone like switched the reels or
exactly,
something. What's going on? This ain't what I'm used
exactly.
to.
Dude, everybody catching bullets and poison and all kind of stuff, dying. Man, I was all in. Loved it, loved it. And that's just episode 3. If you want to talk about Doctor Strange, same difference, bro. Which I
That
mean,
was
I'm
dark.
a hopeless romantic. That was dark and like definitely tugged on the heartstrings. A different approach. I mean, at one point he looked like Jafar from Aladdin, which was actually kind of cool. I love that. It's all red and everything. I was waiting for
Yeah.
the
That's a
little
great
snake tongue to
analogy,
come out.
actually.
So it was like it was really cool. I thought it was a nice mix, man, of what they were doing. It definitely caught me off guard with this what if. I didn't expect it to go that far left, especially with who they decided to use, and I'll let somebody else bring that up as the main villain in episode 3. So
Hmm.
I was very pleased with it. I was happy about it, and I enjoyed both of them. You know.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I agree with you. I mean, it it definitely beat my expectations here. From what they gave us in the first two episodes, I thought we're gonna kind of get these cute little scenarios, and
Mm-hmm.
this person is now this person, and so on and so forth. And that's not always the case. Or what if they're also now they're branching into like alternate realities, if you will, a
Mm-hmm.
la multiverse that they keep talking to us about here,
Mm-hmm.
and we're seeing heroes killing heroes,
Mm-hmm.
heroes becoming villains.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big mixed ball, a bag, if you will, of just a whole bunch of ideas. And now we're getting to see them fleshed out and see what can really go wrong for
Mm-hmm.
these people that we've known for so long here. So I couldn't agree with you more, Spike. I think it was a really pleasant surprise to kind of see this different side of Marvel because we're used to the whole,
Mm-hmm.
fluffy, great one-liner jokes. We laugh and we move
Mm-hmm.
on. But it gave me some DC vibes, like I kind of mocked a second ago, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at it. I
Not at
kind of
all.
liked it a little bit there. So I
I
mean,
did.
I love your feedback on that one. Boys, Tank, Clark, who wants to jump in first? Clark, you look like you're excited.
I gotta tell you, I was very surprised. Two things. One, for the third episode, which was for me, I like to call it like a Agatha Christie like murder mystery extravaganza. But I thought that was actually my favorite out of the two. Just because I just thought it was an interesting concept. I think that I'm actually, dare I say, starting to like what I'm seeing as a whole now because of the way they went. So I was very surprised. Believe me, I was. I was very surprised. I actually thought the third one was probably one of the best things that I've seen in a long time. It was really good.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's hope for Clark.
Well,
Yes.
you know,
We're gonna
I
throw
only
this
tell
in a
the
little further.
truth when it's when it's good. The other two weren't as good, so that's just my my 2
Great
cents.
wording. Okay.
So
I don't even tell the truth when it's the truth. Okay.
Tank.
Sounds good. Other man.
All right, so man, I like both of them. I like them more than the first one. But the T'Challa one's still top tier.
well, right, yeah. Other than that one, right?
That's nostalgia. These 2 episodes proved to me, bro, that episode was a love gift to
Well,
like
that's
a love
what I
story,
said.
a
Yeah.
love story about Chadwick and that character, which is
Right.
no shade at all. It was beautiful.
No, but it did influence why we liked it. I agree.
Yeah, and
there's nothing
they,
wrong with that. There's nothing
not
wrong
at
with
all.
that.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It was a great premise. It was done very well. I get why you like it. It's just I like the expansion. And tell me how you feel about this, Tank. The idea of truly showing us, like Danny just mentioned, how many different timelines they can go and how dark they can get. Because when I don't know about you guys, but when we think about the timelines branching off, and it didn't really cross my mind that they could go. I know they don't go similar, but I didn't even think about how dark they can actually get. And so to touch on that for me was like, okay, that's dope. That is some DC type stuff. I see you, Marvel. So what are you feeling with that, Tank? Come on, dig. I know that was your favorite, but come on, give me 3 and 4. Tell me what you thinking here. Tell us.
I like that they went dark. I think, especially with the third episode, I think the biggest issue for me is that they didn't set it up well. They didn't set it up. The murder mystery. The murder mystery that it was up well. Like they waited until it was almost over to kind of lead up and even say, like I think if they would have mentioned somehow that, like how in all the other what ifs, they mentioned, the Watcher mentioned what caused the change in the beginning. This one they waited until like the end to mention that it was the fact that Hope was a part, that the Wasp was a part of the Avengers.
Yeah.
I think if they would have said, they didn't have to full come on to say it. They could have just like said something, or mentioned that she was a part or going to be part of Shield or the Avengers prior, so that way I can, instead of like completely being lost as to who the hell was killing
Yeah.
everybody, I could have been because that's just how I am when I watch. Like I don't watch a lot of murder mysteries, murder mysteries, but when I do, I like to try to figure out, okay, who is doing this.
Absolutely.
I had
Absolutely.
no idea. I had no idea.
Well, I think that's what makes it a good murder mystery. That you didn't have an
Right, I
idea.
understand, but
That's the
then-
point.
I
Yeah.
feel you, Tank. You feel like they kind of cheated by not telling
Right,
you about
yeah.
a character. It's like
Yeah.
playing Clue, and they go, "Oh yeah, we forgot to tell you that this guy's
Exactly.
involved
I
too."
think that's what made
got
it.
you.
It made it interesting for me that part.
Right.
I like
That's
that
it, but
part.
that's for you. Just like you said in
Yeah,
your
well, right.
opinion.
Everybody has a different way of doing it. You say tomato, I say tomato.
Exactly. But in my opinion, that's not how I like my mysteries. I like to try to figure it out as I go.
All right.
100%.
Fair
That
enough.
was me.
Fair
But,
enough.
I mean, I like I like that they had a like Loki. Tom Hiddleston killed it as Loki. In there,
Yeah,
came
always.
through,
Always.
and took over as he
Can't
has.
miss.
as
He can't
always
miss.
wanted to. Exactly,
Nope.
can't miss.
Nah.
I like they got most of the voice actors. I think only people different were not Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, and Tony
Yeah,
Stark.
we won't be seeing her anymore.
And I just say I make the same mistake all the time because
Her
her name is Scarlett Johansson, and
And
I
you
think you
think
called me
about
last
Scarlet
week,
Witch?
and I
Yeah.
made that mistake as well too. So my heart goes out to you because
At least you didn't call her Frank. At least you didn't
Yeah,
call her
right.
Frank.
That'd be great if I called her Frank. That'd be
You
great.
know, Black Frank instead of Black Widow. There you go.
Yeah.
What do you
I wouldn't
think
go that
of,
far. I wouldn't go that far.
What do you think is strange?
It's just, I think this one suffered because he's not one of my favorites. Like he's never been within in the comics or in the
I
movies.
agree.
He's not one of my favorites. But I mean, the story itself, and the way they told it was dope. I'll give him that. I just think I think it's like you said. Yeah, the Chadwick one's probably my favorite just because Black Panther, even besides it being Chadwick, Black Panther's been one of my favorites, for a while.
Right.
And then also had, they had, Chadwick's, one of his last performances, because I think, he's supposed to be coming back in a couple more episodes. But Doctor Strange, I'm not to hate on Benedict Cumberbatch.
Mhm.
Got that first try.
Mhm.
Not to hate on him because he does a great job as him.
Mhm.
He just that character has just never been one of my favorites, comic book or MCU.
Mhm.
But the story that they told about, all right, when I read the title, when I was like, I think it said, "What if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands?"
Mhm.
Oh,
Mhm.
I knew first, your first thought is like, "What are they going to take his heart out or something?"
Mhm.
Then your grown up brain comes in. You're like, "Oh no, like it's the girl that he like is going to die."
Right.
I liked how it actually shows like the limitations of the time stone,
Yep.
because he can go
Mhm.
back and he kept going back in time, but it doesn't change
Right.
the result. So you can go
Mhm.
back as much as you want, and that's and it doesn't that it doesn't change the result. Unlike the time, what was it, the TVA? Yeah, the
Yeah.
TVA
Yeah.
versus,
TBA.
yeah,
Hmm.
they can they can go back and change next events. That never caused the next event because it never changed the result.
Right.
Right.
So
Exactly.
like, I like how they showed that. That one like little tentacle monster, that was the
Mhm.
same creature from the Captain Carter, the
Yep.
one that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah. Good
It's
one.
all
I forgot
connected.
about that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yep.
It's all.
The Doctor Strange on Evil Doctor Strange fight, that was a dope fight.
Mhm.
And I thought, the ending was dope, like how he did all this to save his girl,
Mhm.
and then he still, like, for one, she saw him all monstered out, and she was like, "Get
Yes.
away from me!" And then he still ended up losing her because he destroyed everything.
Which was amazing because when would you ever think Marvel would end on that kind of note?
Yeah,
Like a downer like that? Like, yeah, that's just it.
yeah,
That for me was like the epitome of it. I love that episode. I mean, it was a real tearjerker,
yeah.
heartbreaking, seriously.
What
And
this one reminded me of more than anything else, it reminded me of like an episode of the Twilight Zone.
good call. Good
That's what it reminded
call.
me of. The Twilight Zone.
Very good call.
That's
Yes.
the vibe I got out there. I
Oh
mean,
man, that's the nail on the head
you
right there, bro.
play the whole scenario out multiple times. The character's trying to figure it out. In the end, the plot twist is no, you never could have fixed it in the first place. I thought it was a really that was honestly out of the two, that was my favorite. That was my favorite
Mhm.
personally. And plus, I've been you know me guys. I've been ragging on about the multiverse, and I feel like the more I hear myself talk about, the more I sound like a crazy man. Keep talking about multiverses and all this stuff like that. But I mean, I was curious because again, I've been on I've been on record saying that, like, listen, there's some crazy stuff that's about to go down in that Doctor Strange 2 movie. So I
Very
was
true.
really excited to see what a Doctor Strange centric episode would look like.
Mhm.
First of all, I thought Benedict Cumberbatch, first try, did it very, very well as well too. I thought his
Mhm.
performance was very good. He's such a talented actor, so amazing
Yeah,
actor, that man.
good actor.
But all the same, you know, once I saw what the outcome was, and I saw that there's this new Supreme Doctor Strange or whatever like that, this evil
Mhm.
version, got the wheels turning. You know me, I'm always thinking of theories. I'm a theory guy
Mhm.
when it comes to these things, and I think we might have found a clue about this movie here. Now I know from some reports that Scarlet Witch is going to be a villain in the next movie.
Nice.
She's going to be a villain here. And the reason why she's a villain, someone's manipulating her so she can get her children back that she lost at the end of WandaVision,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
So that's already been kind of already set in stone because you remember when she was looking through the book at the end of the show,
Mhm.
and her eyes were all red, and you heard her scream at the kids screaming out to get them and stuff like that. So I think we know who our villain's going to be. This is my theory here. I think Doctor Strange is going to be fighting this Doctor Strange.
Now that'll
Because,
be dope.
and here's how I figured that out here. I went back and I watched the trailer for What If again. And I saw it again, and there's a scene in the trailer where this version of Doctor Strange meets Peggy Carter's Captain America
Mhm.
in it there. So I got a sneaky suspicion because we were all kind of wondering the same thing. Like, how is this going to tie into the movies? Is it going to tie into the movies? Is it just going to be hints, or are we going to get actual plot information about what's going on? in the MCU in this next phase here. And I think now, kind of seeing 4 episodes now, kind of having the what if of, the quiet one with the Captain Peggy situation. Then we had the great Chadwick Boseman episode when he was Star-Lord. I think now we're really starting to see here that this is all going to kind of play into it a lot deeper than we thought we were. Because I have strange, no pun intended, suspicion that I just called myself there. Strange suspicion that I think it's going to be Doctor Strange versus Doctor Strange, and I think he survives the end of that episode there. Because what blew my mind away was like when what is he called? The Watcher is what he's called. The narrator is called the Watcher, correct?
Right.
He saw into it there. He saw what was going on in that universe there at the end. He chose not to interfere. But I think with the fact that Doctor Strange absorbs so much dark magic, I think he survives this. And now seeing the trailer over again, I think he's been playing a part in this here. And I think that this Doctor Strange is going to recruit Scarlet Witch. And he's going to make promises to help her save her kids and bring them back to life.
Well, you bring up a good point, but it makes me wonder also because they technically say Scarlet Witch is one of the most powerful in the MCU, right? If not the most powerful. And in this episode, they talked about how he had to absorb all of those powers to even be powerful enough or close to powerful enough to change what they call it, Tank, the time point or
access point
or whatever that you couldn't change, right?
Yep.
So absorbing those powers would be probably the only way he would be able to even rock against her. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody could really get with her. So we could see those two going at it. And to your point, maybe the regular Doctor Strange, not the dark one, has to try to get Scarlet Witch back so they can defeat the dark Doctor Strange. So it could go that way too, because you really got the wheels turning here, man. That's
what I do. That's what I do, boys.
I like that.
I get paid the big bucks.
Gold star for Danny 4K.
Thank you. Wow, I wanted one of those. Clark, I feel like I've blown your mind, and I'm feeling really good about myself for doing that. But can you rationalize any of my theories here? Do you agree with any of them? Do you disagree with them? Would you change anything about them?
I mean, I thought it, in my own theory, I was thinking, well, could this be at all anything to do with the way, and I'm going into live action here with the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer? Could it be like a similar thing that's happening to Doctor Strange, because he did seem like he wasn't his normal self in that
Thank
trailer.
you. I'm glad somebody picked up on that. You took me that point last week, and that's where this started turning from
right.
I said that.
That's right. I remember.
So so I definitely see the connection, and it's definitely an interesting theory. So.
I love how they put this together. I love it. It's time.
It makes sense now, isn't it?
Effort, yeah, but it's a lot. It takes a lot of love, not just time.
Oh.
You got to love these characters and the idea to take that time to write that way, to invest that way, and to want to put out a great product. And kudos to Kevin Feige and the rest of those guys over there, man, because they never leave us hanging. Like, seriously, for well over a decade now, they've been invested in just making good movies, and the money comes, which is what Warner just doesn't get. I mean, each movie just gets better and better. And now to dabble into animation and the What If series and make them this good so far.
Tie it in. Yeah.
Yeah, and to bring it all together that way, get us thinking, get us invested. Even if it doesn't turn out to our theory, none of us, I believe, have the confidence or feeling that it's not going to be good. That's the thing. Even though Tank doesn't like Doctor Strange, I bet money he's going to see it, because he knows it's going to be a good product. You know what I'm saying? And not even like, he didn't say he didn't like it. He said he's not his favorite. And I'll say I was the same way with Doctor Strange after the first movie. I started becoming a fan of his after I saw him.
Him and Thanos fight? Yeah, same way.
back,
I agree. I wasn't crazy about that movie either, Tank, so you're not wrong. Yeah, no, it was Infinity War.
Infinity War. And Infinity War made me really understand what he could do and like kind of really make me start to like him. But before that, in the first movie, I was like, what is this? I watched it a couple times, so I get it. But I'm excited to see which way they're going to go with this. And I just, like I said, I enjoyed the way they put those movies together. They're doing an amazing job, man. And just to really take the gloves off and go this route and go dark like that, like you said, but still tie it all in, because you guys are picking up Easter eggs. that are going right by me because my mind's blown. And then I think about it after you said it, and I go, how did I miss that? I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Yeah.
Hey, buddy, what do you think, man? Am I onto something? Am I off? Would you change something?
No, no. I mean, I don't think you're off at all. I mean, that would be. I mean, I hope. I mean, because I said, I'm liking, the what if, but I want it to merge into the movies. I don't want it just to be because just about, everything that they have, done MCU wise has always somehow been connected. So it would be weird, especially seeing how they, I mean, that strange movie is called Multiverse of Madness. So obviously, and and also with the Spider-Man trailer, they even in there they admitted, they have opened up that there is a multiverse. So yeah, they said it in Far From Home, but that was just a throwaway joke or gag. They actually are going into it now. So
Yeah.
since how they have opened up Pandora's box of the multiverse, I want these what if episodes to merge into the MCU somehow. I don't want them just to be their own separate entity in the MCU. So yeah, so I
100%.
definitely yeah, so whether he calls himself, I don't know if he's gonna call himself Strange, Evil Doctor Strange, or what he'll call him, or if they come up with some other name for him.
I think they
But
call
yeah,
themselves Strange Supreme is what they call
Strange.
them.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, I
Okay.
heard it
something
was
like
actually
that.
going to be Frank.
Could
This
be.
Okay.
Could
The
be.
edible
Anyway,
kid.
but yeah,
That's
so
a
but yeah,
little.
but
That's a little
Could be his
nighttime humor.
alias,
Just a little nighttime
keep the
humor.
script on the wraps. Maybe he goes by codename Frank.
but yeah, because Wanda, Wanda's Scarlet Witch, she was definitely like, someone else was there helping her out to hear her kids while she was reading that book.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we don't
Oh,
know
sorry,
like,
not to cut you off. One thing about that, there was a report, and it was confirmed that there was a scene deleted from that ending
Yeah.
where Doctor Strange was supposed to appear
yeah,
and go to that cabin there. Dang. Sorry, I didn't mean
yeah.
to cut you off, but I just
Oh,
thought
you good.
about that when you were talking about it.
Oh, you good. Oh, you good. But yeah, so I think that would be dope if it was Strange Supreme, who was actually, the big bad of the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is gonna be
Can't go
dope
wrong
to
with
see.
that.
No.
This is gonna be so
You're gonna
dope to see,
see
bro.
Benedict Cumberbatch's like twist on Doctor Strange now being the evil version. And listen, if there's any actor that can pull that off, it's him. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if people like audiences outside of comics understand how amazing that man is as an actor. He doesn't miss either. He's kind of like Tom Hiddleston in a way, but he's a lot more. He has a lot more range, and that's nothing against Tom Hiddleston, but like that. If you go through his catalog of movies, this man is always busy. Like he's like the most in-demand actor, not called Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Like I'm telling you guys, like literally the man's catalog of what he has on his slate every single year, it's always like at least a handful of movies every single year. Just incredible the
Yep.
amount of time he puts into it there.
I
But-
agree.
But having said all that there, I mean, very good episodes, really good conversation about that there. Threw in a couple theories here. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited if it goes in that direction. I think we all are. We can speak on that there. But let's get into what we thought about these episodes here. So we'll do episode 3, What If first. You guys all know, but for the audience at home that doesn't, we rate out of 1 to 5 House of Phantom Stars here. So starting with my boy Spike, 1 to 5, episode 3. What do you rank, sir?
I'm gonna give episode 3. Let's see, we go over. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna give it a
Okay.
4. I enjoyed it that much. I'm gonna give it a 4. It was a 4
Nice.
stars.
Nice. Clark, yourself, sir.
Like I mentioned before, I thought it was the best out of all of the episodes. In my opinion, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I loved the mystery angle. I appreciated their approach on it. I give this a 4.5.
All right. Tank, what do you say, sir? Episode 3.
You're muted.
I think you're on mute, sir.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I give episode 3. I give it a 3.
Really?
Yeah, like I said, just I don't know, there's something about it. Like I said, I think it was like mainly, it's like I said, just that's how I don't like my murder mysteries, like just to surprise. I like to try to figure out myself.
I feel you.
So
Yeah.
so yeah. So if they would have let it a little bit or set it up somehow, I probably would have given a little bit higher. But like I said, but just because of that, I give it a 3.
Yeah.
Cool.
No problem. You know what? I actually kind of agree with Tank, but I'm gonna be a little nicer. Three and a
Keeping.
half, 3.5, three and a
Okay.
half stars for that one there. I agree. The thing I like about a good murder mystery is like, there should be a clue in there of who it could potentially be. And take me to the point that like, it just came out of nowhere. There wasn't even a setup to where this character was and or was involved in this in the beginning. And it's nice when you're surprised as a viewer, but it's not cool when you don't even give the viewer a chance to figure it out for
Yeah.
themselves. That's just my feeling about that there.
I disagree.
You
but
know, it's okay. That's why it's my star, not yours.
I know it is your turn, but you did bring up Tank, so all right.
I
And he has to
concur.
disagree. And he has to disagree with me.
As much as you like that episode, I just want to say on record, I was very tempted to give it half a star because I'm petty like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, I know Tank. I was just gonna say to Tank, had it been the way in which you wanted it to play out, I probably would have given it a lower episode star because I just
I would
enjoyed.
give it higher. Well, you would have had to disagree with me. And give
Well,
it
no,
lower. That's
not just to disagree, but to simply like you say tomato, I say tomato. I thought I wanted it to not tell me anything. I didn't want to try to know who it was going to be. I wanted that mystery to be there. I'm not trying to read the end of the book and find out who the killer is. I wanted to not know nothing until the end, and that's for me why I gave it a 4.5.
Clark, can I ask you a question about that there? In all seriousness, when you found out who the actual murderer was, did you feel like it was a good one? Like a good oh, it was that guy? Oh, I never saw that coming, and oh, I can totally see him doing it.
No.
Then what did you feel about it there? Because you gave it a highest score, so I'm curious of.
I
No,
mean,
what-
I thought that I really didn't know. I had no idea throughout the entire episode, and that's
were you
what
satisfied? Were you satisfied with the person?
Well,
who it
that's.
was?
I mean, spoiler alert. I mean, I you know, uh, I'm torn because I really thought, to be honest with you, if I was gonna make a guess here
Yeah.
on it, I really was going a whole other angle, and my thing was I honestly thought it was gonna be, Captain America.
Hmm. Okay.
Like
okay.
we like in other words, we're not gonna know anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And bam, that's what I thought. And obviously, if it's playing into the same thing from episode 1, it wouldn't technically be. But maybe
Yeah, I
he's
get what
got
you
a
mean,
chip
yeah.
on his shoulder because
Yeah.
he didn't get the serum. I don't know.
Mhm.
So.
Well,
That's just
technically
my-
he would be dead because he never got the serum. He
Well,
never-
that's
never
true
posed
too.
an
That's
ice tube,
true
so-
too. But my point is that I really thought, oh well, they're gonna go crazy and they're gonna it's gonna be like dun dun dun.
Yeah,
Captain
yeah, that's kind of like
America.
when you didn't tell me or you didn't give me a clue. I thought it was gonna be that big of a deal, but I think that's what it was. I think I was more disappointed with who it turned out to be at the end. When it's just like, okay, listen, you got me at the edge of my seat because I really don't have a direction of who it could potentially be. So when we found out who it was, it didn't hit me as hard as I thought it would hit. I guess the reveal was kind of disappointing because the mystery
What-
was good, but I just
But think
I don't-
about it though. It was all a distraction, Danny. So, because think about it, I didn't think it would be anybody like that. It surprised me,
Mhm.
but he was really just a pawn for the ripple. His anger, the main story that we really missed was Loki taking over. That's
Yeah.
all of this caused Loki to be able to take over Earth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
in
that's
the
a great
world.
point.
So
So like a
you know,
redirect.
yep. So even though he was sitting there, it was easy to just toss somebody in that we didn't see, and we were sitting there trying to figure out who this was. But it caused Fury to have to go and bargain with Loki, which
Mhm.
basically let him know the whole world was vulnerable. The Avengers never make it because of
Mhm.
Hank Pym. So he gets to take over the world, and that's what this was really about.
Yeah.
We just got caught up in the murders. Like, wait a minute, who's plugging out all the big guys?
Right.
Yeah, that's a
So-
good point there.
But
That's
it would
definitely
make
a good point.
sense that they would use him to be because he was such like a mad scientist kind of thing,
Yeah, that made him feel that way too. He was all dark and beat up and
Right.
scorned and everything. I get
Yes.
it. But I mean, I think for the idea of not being able to see, that was the big thing. Remember, all this
Mhm.
stuff is going down and you don't see anybody. There's no
Mhm.
alarms tripped. There's no nothing. The only person, which made me mad that I didn't
Wasp.
think about Ant-Man or Wasp or whatever you want to call it, because I didn't really like him as a person, or as a character, I should say.
Mhm.
But
Right.
it was a nice spin. And I mean, Loki made me to him so quick. It was like, okay, yeah, this is about Loki.
Yeah.
This is really what this is about. He beat
Yeah,
the
that's a
crap
good
out of
point.
him.
That really is a good point there. I mean, yeah. Well, good guys. I mean, great point at the end there, Spike. Clark, respect your obviously your review on that there. Tank, I agree with you there. Doesn't mean ours is any better than the panels there, but like Clark always likes to say, everybody is allowed to have their own opinions on fandom. That's what makes it so special. So,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
we're just gonna see where this ride takes us here, which takes us to our final review of the evening here. We have just wrapped up 3. Let's finish it off strong with 4. What if episode 4, same format? We'll switch it up. Let's go forward. This time we'll go with Tank first, and we'll go counterclockwise back to where we were before. Tank, sir, what was your review of episode 4 of What If?
Uh, give it a 4. I'll probably say it's probably my second favorite of all. Like I said, Doctor Strange is not my favorite, because I'm not saying any of his movies or his characters have been bad. And like I said, just the story they told in this was amazing. And hopefully, like I said, it kind of sets the what's it called, the crumbs or whatever to the multiverse of madness. Especially after Danny's theory. So hopefully that does come to fruition. But yeah, I'll give it a 4.
All right,
Cool.
good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right, 4 for Mr. Tank there. Clark, yourself, sir. You said you liked episode 3 more than 4. I didn't mean to rhyme that there, but what would you grade episode 4 then? If you like this one,
I give it a 4. I give
give
it a 4. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought the love, the losing of the heart thing, that was like, it gave it weight.
Hmm.
As far as I always looked at it as like that they were gonna give him the whole Shakespearean tragedy, kind of thing. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it as well. I kind of like Doctor Strange. He's an interesting character. I'm on the same wavelength as Tank. I didn't really like him a lot, and he didn't interest me. But after watching him in several different films,
He grew on you.
right? And to be honest with you, and this is the truth, I've never seen Doctor Strange the movie.
You
Really?
won't like it.
I have not.
Yeah. Well,
You see what I'm saying? So maybe that's a good
Yeah.
thing. Maybe
You're not
that's a
missing
good
much
thing.
there.
But yeah, I gave it a 4 because, like I said, I like the third one. I like the whole element there, but I did like this one as well. So
Okay, good. Well, we saved the best for last. No one ever says that to Spike. Damn it, I'm going to say it tonight. Spike, sir, if you will, Marvel, What If, episode 4, 1 out of 5 stars.
5 stars, baby.
Ooh,
5
I knew
stars.
someone was going to finally do it. I didn't want to be the
Listen.
only one.
aristocrat.
Listen, heartbreak,
Mm-hmm.
darkness.
Yeah.
Anybody, we all been in love before. We all know
Empire
this, like
Strikes
that
Back
heartbroken.
hmm
But also to show in a way that Marvel doesn't typically do, the limits that people will go to. No limit, anyway. The extremes they'll go
Try
to
love. Yeah.
to try to bring it back. The fact
Yeah.
that he battled with that and tried again, different areas. And think about it too, like he was there for years, for decades, merging with those other characters. Like that one
Mhm.
dude, what's his name, Oben or something like that. He
Yeah.
got old, like
Mhm.
super old, and died. Doctor Strange was there for a very long time,
Yeah.
just to try to bring her back, man, and ruin the world for it.
Mm-hmm.
And we've all been, like I said, in a place of pain. But like I said, from the aspect of Marvel, going that dark and then to end the episode the way that they did was beauty to me. It was poetry in motion. I loved it. And like I said, I couldn't rate it any higher. It was great. Definitely my favorite so far. No shade to T'Challa, but definitely my favorite.
Well, thank you, Spike. And you can't, because that's how the review works. 5's the highest you can go.
Yes.
So don't break our system. We just got one.
Not at all.
But yeah, I mean, listen, you guys know I'm gonna say it's a 5 too. I mean, shit, you heard the theory I pulled out of my ass there. So I mean,
Yep.
of course I'm gonna say it's a 5 because honestly, between the T'Challa episode and this one here, this is probably my new favorite one. Not
Mhm.
just because no disrespect to Black Panther or anything like that. It was just like a great episode. I love it, but this one gave me my theories. This one gives me more what potentially might be moving forward, and I like that part of it. I like that it gave me a little bit more to chew on there. Even if I turned out to be completely wrong, the fact that it opened up my mind to possibly these kinds of options being on the table for when these movies finally come out, it makes me excited to want to see these movies when they come out. And I think even if I'm 100% wrong here, I think that the job was accomplished because it's got me engaged with the stories that they're telling, and it's got me interested in seeing what they're going to do going forward. And full disclosure, folks, for everybody else here, by the time this is out there, I've already seen Shang-Chi. I saw a press screener yesterday, and I can tell you right now, Marvel's not going anywhere. This movie, let's just say, we'll save it for next week when we'll review it officially, but you're not going to be disappointed. I'll just leave it at that there. All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for your participation here on the panel for our What If review of episodes 3 and 4. We will be back live next week, and I know Clark has a little bit more to say about that, which I will now say my line. You want to take us home, Clark?
Absolutely. Thank you, gentlemen, for another great episode of the House of Fandom, and definitely enjoyed it for sure. Let me just say, if you haven't already, if you like what you hear, and we appreciate it, if you could like and also subscribe to the House of Fandom. It's your one-stop shop to everything in fandom, whether it's movies, TV, you name it, sports, we got it. We also have a show called Townie Sports, speaking of sports, and they actually go on every Monday. But this weekend, they will be on Sunday for a special Townie Sports, and Townie Sports will be doing a live draft, and we will have guest appearances by some of us here, maybe all of us. So you got to tune in live at 7 p.m. on Sunday to check out who shows up to Townie Sports in their first annual Fantasy Football League live draft. Got a lot of fun stuff in store for that episode, so we definitely look forward to that. And then, of course, as you've heard earlier, we are on TikTok, and we've got a lot of followers, and they are liking what they see. And so, if you want to check it out, go to @House of Fandom 1 on the TikTok, if that's your thing. So, gentlemen, it's been amazing. It's been fun. Tank, I believe you're gonna take us out with your boy Joel and Steel Frame and some nice beats.
Yeah, so like I said, as always, you got my boy Joel Torres, aka Steel Frame. Check him out on SoundCloud.
All right, boys. Wherever you are, have a great evening, and thanks again for listening to another episode of The House of Fandom. Good night, boys.